Hey, all right, I think we're live. Let me see here. Got chat up. Isotope says hello. Finrear Music says hi all. So surprise live stream. It's a thing we do. We go live without a whole lot of notice. That's why I want to be subscribed with notifications on, so you don't miss the party. Stupid Robot Fighting League is here. Can I get a sound check if you please? Just want to make sure y'all can hear me. Just let me know in chat. And if you can't hear me, would you notice? Can you hear me? Huh? Sound good. Okay, awesome. Cool. Yes, loud and clear. Fantastic. Might have a little bit of a lag there on chat. That is okay. So yeah, surprise live stream. We're gonna be doing something a little different here. And yeah, Stupid Robot Fighting League, Isotope, and Finrear Music. Thank you so much for helping with the sound check. I'm getting some points for the beard. Haven't trimmed it in a little bit. It's losing a little definition. So, beard update. December 2020. Let me see if I'm actually... You know what? I think I'm going to go full screen here. Let's see. Full screen. Looks like it still has audio. All right. That's not too bad. Cool. So I'm going to go full screen because we're starting off with something a little different. Lighting is a... I don't know if this lighting is working. It's kind of dark. I could try amping it up, but let's just kind of get into things first. Make sure I'm shutting off the various things that make sound. My home.
Lights off.
Yeah, that was the whole idea. Okay. Yeah, and sounds there too. Cool. All right, so we're gonna be doing some different things with this live stream. We're gonna go for 2.5 hours, give or take. No, sorry, 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours. I can't do math. A little less than 2 hours. A little dark. Boosh, is that better? And I can adjust that, of course. So, anyways, yeah. So we're gonna go until 5 p.m. Pacific. That's the plan, and so that's gonna be a little over an hour and a half with what I have left. I wanted to go live earlier, but I forgot about how YouTube moved the live stuff around and how it seems to update the stream key every time I want to do this. So I had to go and find the stream key, and I had to edit my live twice. Anyways, enough complaining. Let's get into the show. So a couple of things have been going on since we last went live. Last live stream was the 300,000 member celebratory live stream for our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/smallYoutubersBoost. And we just hit 300,000 members, and we had partnered with Epidemic Sound, who are fantastic. And we had a big contest. We gave away a DSLR camera, 2 portable hard drives, and some free Epidemic stuff, which was amazing. And so if you're not familiar with Epidemic, they do music and sound effects that you can use on your channel, and we've got a link down below. That'll get you a free month. And, you know, this is probably one of the best times that you could possibly do that if you haven't got your free month before. If you're doing Vlogmas, for one thing, if you're doing Vlogmas and you've made it to today, which is day 11, full kudos to you. Once upon a time, I did a month of videos. It was like a mid-January to mid-February, but I did like 30 days of videos on my Vacation Impossible channel, and it was killer. And so my heart goes out to you. Mad respect and appreciation for any of you who are doing full-on Vlogmas. And so if you are putting out a video every single day, it's a perfect time to take advantage of a free trial. And so if you want some music, some sound effects, there's the link. It should be in the description, assuming I did that right. Let's see, checking in with chat. Isotope says much better since I put in my secondary light there. And I do have more lights. I can adjust that. I got my ring light, so just let me know. And Isotope says, love Epidemic. Just use some of their tracks as background music on a video I published today. There you go. There's a great testimonial right there in chat. So that's awesome. And so what's going on today, though, is TubeBuddy, who they sponsor the Facebook group, not this video or channel, but they sent me some swag, which was kind of nice. And it's been sitting in a box, and I thought I would unbox it with everybody so you can see what they sent me, because I don't know what it is, and I'm excited for that. I have a vague idea. They gave me some ideas, but I haven't actually seen it with my own eyes yet, and so that's going to be kind of fun. Also, I've ordered some more promotional materials for my channel, Vacation Impossible. Here's an old one that I've got my mug there. You see, you can't you can't read what it says there. It says no vacations impossible, but that's yellow on white. This was back in the day. VistaPrint used to have something called the promo box, where you send some logos and a slogan and a description of your company or channel or whatever it is, and their marketing team would put together marketing materials for you. And so it was hit and miss. Like I liked the mug. I kind of liked the logo, although I felt the logo was a little low res, and it got cropped at the bottom and stuff. It's a slightly older variant of our logo, but this was one of the ideas that they did. And so what I try to do every December, as I'm looking at my year-end financials, and I'm often thinking, hey, you know what? I could use a little bit more tax deductions. So maybe now's the time to order some promotional materials that I can deduct off my taxes. And so generally in December, I order a few things just kind of for fun. A little Christmas gift for me, I suppose. And so I've ordered some promotional stuff that I designed and picked out from VistaPrint, but I haven't seen how it turned out yet. And so I figured to do a little unboxing of that. As well, there is a contest I'm sort of announcing. It's not up live yet. I'll be posting it shortly after this live stream, but it will be in our Facebook group. Again, facebook.com/groups/small YouTubers boost. And what the contest is, for the previous contest, the epidemic contest, you had to make a video. This one's a lot easier. You don't have to make a video for this one. So for this contest, we're giving away 6 months of a legend license on TubeBuddy. And again, we're doing that in the Facebook group. And so what I'm going to do is I'll make a post shortly after this live ends, and you guys can scamper over there and go check it out. It will be sort of a pinned announcement. And so the contest is this. In order to enter, what you need to do is you need to explain either or how the free version of TubeBuddy has helped your channel already, and or if you got the legend license for 6 months for free, what would you do with it? How would you use it to grow your channel in that 6 months? And so the best answer will win. Include a channel link when you commented on that post once it's up. I'll have full instructions over there, and we'll have that up for a time. We can talk here about how long you think that contest should go up for, because I think that it's maybe the weekend, maybe a week, maybe till the end of maybe till Christmas, maybe to the end of the year. Let me know. The trips welcome. They say hey everyone in chat. So we're gonna do the unboxing of the TubeBuddy Swag. We're gonna do the unboxing of the stuff I ordered from VistaPrint. I've announced the contest, but I'll probably talk a bit more about it as we go. If there's any questions, now's a great time to ask. And then of course we'll do our regular thing of I will take your requests. I will answer your questions and do everything I can to help give your channel a boost on YouTube. What if I use a paid TubeBuddy membership? Can I write how it helped me? Yeah, it's just for the contest. I really want it to be something where people don't have to pay to enter the contest. And so that's why I'm kind of phrasing it like, tell me how the free version works. That way you can, people can get the free version and write their description of how it helps without having to actually upfront any money to enter the contest. I just thought that'd be a fair way to do that. So that's just sort of the terms. But I mean, you can talk about whatever. And there's so much to TubeBuddy, which is amazing. I personally, for Vacation Impossible, I use a legend account myself. But for this channel, Small YouTubers Boost, I use the free account. And if you don't have TubeBuddy, there's a link in the description. Video's not sponsored, but that is an affiliate link. And so I use the free version of Small YouTubers Boost because I want to try and keep in mind what the free and the legend does. And so I can kind of I can go, and for my tutorials, I can go get screenshots of the free version and compare it to what it's like for legend and stuff like that. I really kind of want to upgrade my license on this channel to Star, because I think Star is sort of really a good level for most channels. But yeah, I think that I think it's a better service if I do keep one channel on the free, just so that I can kind of keep it straight in my head and remind myself of the differences. So anyways, yeah, awesome. So should we begin with the unboxing? Should we see what stuff TubeBuddy sent me? Because this has been sitting here for, I don't know, the better part of a week and a half, and I just keep eyeing it. And I'm like, I want to know what's inside. So it's early Christmas morning for Ray. Really hoping TubeBuddy comes out with an extension for Safari. So it doesn't work on Safari. That's interesting. I personally use it on Firefox primarily, but I do know that it also works pretty much identically on Chrome, and I believe it works on Edge as well. I tested it out a little bit, but I'm just sort of a Firefox guy. And again, because I try to do tutorial tutorial videos about people in different stages of their YouTube evolution. I only keep the browser plugin installed on one of my browsers so that I can go to the other browsers to show people how it looks without. If I need like a screenshot, or even right now live, I can demo things in an environment that isn't relying on it like I rely on it all the time. So anyways, Isotope says, let's unbox. You got it, Isotope. All right. Just got to make sure that I don't put anything up here that's got my address on it. And I think this isn't everything they sent me. I think they sent me some other stuff. But it's coming in, I think, 2 shipments. So this is just sort of part 1. All right. So this, I think this is a toque, or I don't know, maybe it's a t-shirt. American Apparel. Now, one thing I did, I spoke with TubeBuddy, and they mentioned that their merch supplier is going to be changing soon. So, you know, if you're watching this and it's not December 2020, thanks for joining us for the replay. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know. You know, hashtag replay in the comments. But, so what you see now might not be what's available in the future. If this is something you're interested in getting, just want to be full disclosure there. I think this is a t-shirt. I'm going to rip into this thing. I don't know why I sniffed it. I do that with my food. I don't need to do that with my clothes. No, it's fine. I'm kidding. It doesn't smell like anything. All right. Let's see here. So, just get that off there. So yeah, it's from American Apparel. It's not great if I'm just looking at it and you're like, oh, what's he looking at? So yeah, here, I should share this with you. So check it out. Like that. Logo is nice and crisp, pretty high contrast. You know, even here the thin red against this sort of like heather gray looks pretty awesome. So that's pretty cool. I like that. It's it does feel a little thin. Let's see if I hold it up against that light there. You can see it's a little thin, but that's all right because good ventilation that way. You know, one thing I find, I asked for a medium. Did they send a medium? They did. Okay. Is it like a men's unisex medium? I think so. Let's check the shape on that. Yeah, it's like a really kind of square shape. So cool. This will work great. One thing that I do like, my body temperature runs a little warm, and so a thin shirt is actually pretty awesome, particularly if I'm live streaming. I'm wearing this thick cotton thing from a sports team that's not even in Vancouver anymore, and I know that by the time we get towards the end of live stream, I'm going to be warm. And so I really like, actually, how thin this is. Because, like, you're running around, you're filming, you're doing a live stream. Wherever I would probably wear this, maybe if I wore that to a convention one day or something, I don't know. I like having good, you know, sort of thin clothes. So don't get too hot. Don't sweat so much. You know, and it's a dark color, so it'll hide the sweat. So I appreciate that. So thank you so much, TubeBuddy, for that. Again, this video is not sponsored. They just sent this to me because they are awesome people, and they do sponsor our Facebook group. Oh, interesting question. Where is it made? It's actually made in the USA. As a Canadian, I kind of wish it was made in Canada. But still, no, that's actually, check it out. I don't know if that'll read well. It's a 4K webcam, but that doesn't mean it focuses fantastically. But yeah, made in the USA of American and imported materials. So check that out. Not bad. Not bad. Little domestic production there. Depending on where you are. I'm in Canada. Imported into Mexico. Imported into Colombia. This shirt has been to places I haven't been. I've been to Mexico plenty of times, not Colombia. That's interesting. So, I mean, it probably was, yeah, this is Gildan Activewear. So, and also American Apparel. So, interesting. But they probably shipped it there to have the screen printing done, I imagine. So, they probably did the screen printing overseas, I'm guessing. But very interesting. All right. The Trips is in Canada as well. That's awesome. Are you a travel channel? Because I primarily run a travel channel. Vacation Impossible, you'll be seeing more of that later as I get to the VistaPrint merch. Born in the USA. I was actually born in the USA as well. Yeah. And I moved to Canada when I was very, very young. So I'm pretty much Canadian through and through, but ever so technically American. I'm going to mispronounce this. Zwan Hardy family. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but I just wanted to say hi because you're in chat. You said that it was nice, so that's cool. Nice zoom on the beard. There you go. Got to give the people what they want. See, I like to keep this a little bit. I'm getting like this mirror effect on nowhere point. I like to keep the line here a little bit more clean and around the neck as well. So, you know, COVID, lockdown, things like that, isolation, quarantine, whatever you want to call it. No, we don't have it. But you know, you stay home and you work from home and you do all that stuff. And that's actually part of why I'm live right now, because it's getting towards the end of the year. My day job, I had some vacation time I had to take. It was a use it or lose it and get in trouble sort of thing. So I took a couple hours of vacation today. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? I know, I'm going to go on the internet. That's where I'm going to go. So welcome to my vacation. God, that's depressing. Don't get me wrong, I love being here with you fine people. I just don't like having to use my vacation time for it. I should be on a cruise ship somewhere. Like, look back there, we've got, let's see if I can, right there. Those are a couple cruise ship trophies that we got from cruises that we've been on, for example. So, big Carnival cruise guy myself. Let's see, cool. I was thinking about that song, Born in the USA, I'm from Europa. Oh, okay. I would sing, but I don't want copyright, and singing would be tragic for both of us, so let's just... yeah, let's see here. I'm waiting outside my daughter's dance show for it to start. Way better way to spend the time. Don't you just love how, you know, connected technology is? I mean, you're in New Zealand, so obviously, like, you guys are probably well past any kind of very severe lockdown, so that you're able to go to dance shows and stuff. So that's awesome. You guys did very well. Kudos to all of you for putting up with everything. It's been an interesting year. And let's see, Game Time is here, says, hey buddy, how's it going? It's going pretty well. So what I'm doing right now is I'm unboxing some swag that TubeBuddy sent me. I just got to the t-shirt and then I got off topic. So let's go back to the box and see what else we have here. Okay, here we go. This is something that I was kind of looking forward to. I'm not a huge toque guy, and see, there's my Canadianness showing. We call these toques, as I understand it, Americans call them beanies, which is weird, because to me, a beanie should have a propeller on the top. But anyways, this, I've seen other creators with this, and so I kind of, like, you know, kind of feel like I'm getting in the club with getting my own toque here. Look at this. Although I guess it does have a little thing on the top, which I'm not used to for my toques, so... There we go. Actually, I'm kind of curious. If you get in chat, say where are you from and what do you call this? I'm in Canada. I call it a toque. I'm very curious to see what like Stupid Robot Fighting League calls it in New Zealand. And there was someone in Europa, somebody from Germany. Dr. Beats Plays is from Germany. What do you call this? What do you call this? So this looks pretty good. The stitching here is a little thin, so like that might be a little harder to read at a distance, particularly in a snowstorm. So far, here in Vancouver, all we've had so far is rain, but that's temporary. I'm sure the white stuff is coming. There we go. I won't be, you know, disrobing and trying on the t-shirt, but I figured. I don't know about this pom-pom thing on top. I feel like I'm wearing it wrong. It feels like it's making my head very big. Am I doing that right? Just kind of flatten it down. I could go full Kenny. All right. I'm liking this. This is kind of cool. Yeah, I could probably do without that, but whatever. It's not bad. Might collect snow if I'm in a snowstorm, though. I keep trying to use my OBS to adjust, and everything's mirrored. So it's like, I can't get my left and right sorted. Whatever. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to pull that side down. Gotta invert everything. Oh, dyslexia at its worst. It's good enough. All right, let's see here. Swish. I'm from Germany. That toque will come in handy. Yeah, probably will. Hi, neighbor. I'm from the Netherlands. I don't know that makes you and I neighbors being in Canada. We're on different continents, but hey, we're global citizens. We're global neighbors. You know, you're probably in our Facebook group, so, you know, you're part of the family. I'm from Egypt, so we don't have an English name for that because this probably seems ridiculous in Egypt. Or maybe it's just, it's in another language, and so you don't know what the English translation is, which is totally fair. Because, you know, I'm sure it gets cold everywhere. It's just we picture Egypt being hot all the time. Which, you know, it's not accurate. It's a Western world. It's like people picture Africa as this, like, monolithic place where they're actually hugely diverse in terms of their climate and, you know, big cities and deserts and everything in between. Those are places I have yet to go. I'm kind of like on Vacation Impossible. We cover Carnival cruises, and those sail largely out of North America. So far, we've only sailed out of North America. So we've covered that kind of stuff, and we've done other trips to Europe. But yeah, so we still want to expand our horizons one day. But that takes cash and vaccine. So we're those things. But if you want to help with the cash thing, we got plenty of affiliate stuff in the description. Go get a free month of Epidemic and help the channel out. Go get some TubeBuddy. Buy some Amazon stuff. Like, speaking of, this should be a link to this in the description. This book, love this book. This book changed my life by page 2. Can't say enough good things about it. So if you're American, you want to pick that up from Amazon. Let's see here. Fellow Canuck, so it's a toque to me. You were correct. The trips in New Zealand, we call it a headbeard. No, I think you call it a headbeard. I'll have to ask a friend of mine in Australia what they call it. But they're Canadian, so I don't know. They can ask their friends, ask their neighbors. I'm actually American, but we call it. I'm not even going to try and say that. As soon as you hit the umlaut, I'm like, I'm just going to embarrass myself. Moots, I think, is what you would... I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then Finra Music says Mutz. No, was for Germany the neighbor. Oh, Germany is the neighbor for the Netherlands. Cool, that's great. We've got people discovering their neighbors in the chat. How beautiful is that? There are various wrong stereotypes about Egypt and Africa, but compared to Canada, it's a hot country. Well, yeah, sure, and of course, Canada. We've got the I'm wearing the stereotype. In fact, I got a red shirt on and I'm wearing a toque. Like... yeah, I'm the Canadian stereotype. I just need to apologize and say a couple of times, and then I'm going to hit the daily double on Canadian stereotypes. All right. I think this is the last item from TubeBuddy. It's sticking to the bag with my address on it, so let's get that out of there. And, I think this is a hoodie. This is nice. Like, this is amazing. I have a t-shirt. I kind of misplaced it. I was looking for it before because I like to wear it for live streams. There's a channel, a guy called Master Moo, and he spells Moo with 3 O's. He does like daily vlogs and martial arts stuff. Super nice guy. Years ago, he sent me a free t-shirt. I guess I had inadvertently entered a contest by like commenting on one of his videos. I didn't even know. And so it's actually a funny story. I'm in Puerto Vallarta. I'm at the Gallerias Mall at the cruise port, stealing the mall's Wi-Fi, and I get a message, I think, on Facebook, and it was like, hey, you want a t-shirt? Or no, you want some merch? Go check our shop. And so I went and I checked, and I was like, oh, that hoodie looks nice, that t-shirt looks nice, and then he sent me the t-shirt. And so I figured the least I can do is wear the t-shirt as often as possible. I do it when I'm filming my podcast, and I do live streams, and every now and then I try to give him a shout out, because it seems like the nice thing to do, right? Reciprocation, if you like to think of it that way. And so it was just so funny because I was in Puerto Vallarta and I'm like, I think I want a t-shirt off a YouTube channel. This is weird. He wants my address. It's probably fine. But like, and so like I've seen like the cost differential between a hoodie and a t-shirt or a toque. Like this is the big ticket item. So this is amazing that they sent me a hoodie. Maybe I'll wear this like on cold nights on the cruise ship, like off the coast of Mexico or Hawaii or something. Because even when you're in Mexico or Hawaii or the Caribbean, it can get cold when the sun goes down. So this is pretty awesome. Let's get that tag off of there. And I like how they folded that. Like that is impressive. Look how small that is. I've got some folding skills. I'm not going to be able to get it back that small again in a million years. So let's check this out. That is nice. And so, yeah, it's a screen. It's not like an embroidery or anything. And so I guess I'll see how that wears over time. I have my Hard Rock hoodie from London that I've been wearing a lot during this year in 2020 because it's really easy to throw it on and go pick up the pizza that I got ordered for pickup or whatever, or take out the garbage, or the few times you leave your house in 2020. Throwing on a hoodie is the easiest thing in the world, especially if you don't know if it's raining or not. Whatever, don't want to bring an umbrella. It's great. But this is nice. That is pretty high quality. So it's got the pocket. That's sort of not really a pocket. It's more like a breezeway of pockets. So that is awesome. And again, just want to make sure they sent me a medium. They did. And before you ask, I'll see where it was made. But again, I believe they're changing where they're getting their merch from. 100% cotton. Okay, this one was made in El Salvador, it looks like. It's American Apparel brand, but it was made in El Salvador. but it was imported into Mexico and Colombia. Man, these clothes, they travel more than I do, and I'm like the travel guy. In 2016, I took 6 cruises, and of course, I've got a video about it on Vacation Impossible. You can go check that out some other time. But that's amazing. Look at that. Just, I think that works. Thank you, TubeBuddy. Again, video not sponsored, but thanks for the swag. Solid. All right. So, my toque is lopsided, and it's bothering me. I don't have OCD. I took a test, but I think I have tendencies. All right, let's see. What do we got going on in chat here? Yeah, exactly. Just know the language for the toque thing. Yeah. Yes, there are various wrong stereotypes. Oh, yeah, I covered that already. Oh, sorry. Hi, Fenrir. Oh, okay. Cool. Everybody having, like, the toque debate. Sometimes courting controversy is helpful for the YouTube channel. It gets you the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, or heck, if you're watching it now and you want to comment, go ahead. In the comments, what do you call this? Do you call this selling out? Do you call it merch? No, seriously. Like, what do you call this kind of a headpiece? I call it a toque. Other people call it a beanie. Some people call it a mutz that I'm probably saying wrong. Maybe some other things. I'm, like, suddenly fascinated by this. Maybe we should tell Melanie, maybe she can do a video on that. She used to do pronunciations and where words come from. So maybe that's something that she might want to tackle. If she hasn't already, a lot of videos on her channel. She's the... She rebranded recently. She's called the Curious Coder now. So she is she's one of our lead moderators, and she's also our community manager. And so I designated her that some time ago. We're still figuring out what that means, but she's been doing a pretty awesome job. So might as well give her a shout out. She's got a lot of subscribers. She doesn't need my shout out, but whatever. I'll put it out there just the same. Gotta support the people that support you, right? All right. Okay, so now we're going to move on to VistaPrint. And so this is stuff that I've ordered and paid for. The swag was free. The stuff I'm going to show you now, I ordered online with VistaPrint and paid for. The whole thing had about $12, $13 shipping on it. Each item, different costs. I'll try to remember what I paid. I don't know. So let's start off here. I was already showing you this mug that I got from the promo box back in the day. But I wanted to upgrade it because there's things about the mug I didn't like. I was pointing out, like, you can't read that. And I don't like, it was a slightly older version of the logo. It cropped at the bottom. It's very small. So let's see if I could do a slightly better job. Do you think I could improve upon what they did? I'm not even sure how to open it. I found the handle. Do I need scissors? Can I man up? Can I just get into this thing? Wow, it's easier to tear the cardboard than the sticker. That is an intense label. Just trying to let my mug go. Oh, okay, there's like a tab. There's a tab. Look at this. There's a tab, but it's off to the side. It's not like in the middle where a tab normally would be. It's off to the... What the heck kind of box is that? All right, let's see here. Okay, this is pretty good. Yeah, it's the right logo, and it's a better size. So if we compare what I made to what they made, you can see that the logo's bigger, which is nice. The preview on the website did give me the impression that the logo would fill up even more of the cup than it does. So that's something to keep in mind. However, this was $10. Now, I think there might have been like a sale, a Black Friday, a Cyber Monday, something. Yeah, Cyber Monday, I think, was when I did this. And so this was $10, but I think it was with a promo that was going on. But that's not bad for $10. So now, I mean, what looks better to you? Here I am in a live stream, and I want to subtly promote my channel. Or I'm in a Zoom meeting because it's bloody 2020 still. That on the bottom, that's a sticker I put there. Because I got the sticker. So there's not going to be a sticker on this one. But yeah, so like holding up this little guy or this little guy, this one's a little easier to read, a little bit more prominent. Now, you probably still can't read that too well. That's probably just because I'm, my 4K webcam is 4K and awesome, but it's 4K and awesome, but it doesn't obviously have like the zoom features that like a proper optical, DSLR or whatever camera would have. Nothing on the bottom. It's their own sticker. I'm going to peel that sticker off. I'm going to take one of my Vacation Impossible stickers and put it on there so that when I sip, the logo will be there. And then on the other side, I've got Now you can see no vacation is impossible. Obviously not the slogan for 2020. The slogan for 2020 is every vacation's freaking impossible. Although that didn't stop us from taking a road trip. We're in Vancouver, in the province of British Columbia, Canada. So we took a road trip in August to the interior, to a place called Vernon. And so we went to a couple hotels to see how they were coping with COVID. And everything was safe. We wore our masks. We sanitized all over the place. We kept our distance. And, you know, we're all fine. Nobody got anything. So we hopefully did it smart. And we have a couple videos on that. We did a couple lives that Stupid Robot Fighting League joined us for, which was awesome. So you can check that out if you like. But there's a little bit more that I ordered, not just the mug. I also ordered. I'm trying to remember what I ordered. How many of these did I get? This looks like 4. No, it's 3. Okay. So what I got is totes. These are tote bags. I got 3 of them. And I had ordered some before with a black background and a different older logo, and they were okay, but I didn't really like the way they turned out. This is already looking amazing for me. Let's get into this. I thought it was a Roman 6. Yeah, that's the thing. It's VI for Vacation Impossible. And you know what? I did a short just recently on this channel about updating your logos for 2021, and I think I need to do that with Vacation Impossible, because some of the things they talk about is that I did some research into branding logos and trends for that, and one thing I saw very consistently is they said flattened images is the way to go, so you don't want things like gradients, and that you can see as a gradient all over the place. And so you want to, I might want to do some flattened thing, but I'm also thinking that I think I need to start from scratch on this logo, honestly. It was kind of cool and fun when I created it. It was initially trying to look like sort of a coin, and then it kind of evolved from there. Wayne from our Facebook group actually did sort of the redesign, and then I tweaked it a little bit. So, yeah, I think it's time for a new logo for Vacation Impossible. Because looking at it, what can you tell about that? Maybe you can tell that there's a planet, and so like the idea is that we kind of go around the world. But I think we can probably do better. So feel free, if you're watching this on the replay or not, in the comments, if you got suggestions for that logo, let me know. But we did just rebrand this channel. In fact, if you see here, our title screen has the old branding on it, so I need to update that for streaming. This was, as per usual, very short notice, so I didn't have time to do that. I am absolutely in love with the new Small YouTubers Boost logo. I might start putting that on merch. And actually, would that be something anyone would be interested in? You know, some sort of Small YouTubers Boost merch or something. I was thinking about like what a kind of a slogan we could put on it, or just the logo, or like asking you about my YouTube channel, Small YouTubers Boost. I was thinking something like that. So then like you wear it and then people will be like, oh, they got a YouTube channel? Like maybe I'll go ask them. Because I've been out filming. In fact, I was filming, I think, something for Stupid Robot Fighting League a while ago, like a couple years ago, where he wanted round cards, because Stupid Robot Fighting League is like a boxing match between robots that have no gears or programming. So they're controlled by sticks, basically. And so it's like a fight. And so he'd have round 1, round 2, round 3. And so we had gone to the local mall, and we were filming ourselves holding up round cards in like unusual places. We had one where we were going down an escalator, just deadpan, you know, with the sign. And so somebody came up to us and said, you got a YouTube channel? And I had a business card for my channel Vacation Impossible that I gave to them. I don't know if they ever subscribed. But that kind of stuff can be pretty cool. And so I'm thinking about that. I was also thinking about talking about like how I've got my sign up here. Good things come to those who hustle. Over there. And so I've been thinking about some sort of thing around being a creator and what that is. And I have an idea or two that I might turn into merch. But yeah, so when I was filming that thing for Stupid Robot Fighting League, oh, okay. Stupid Robot Fighting League was like, I can no longer hear you. And I'm like, what's wrong with my audio? And he's like, oh, because he's in a theater now. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Don't be the guy who listens to a YouTube video with, like, no headphones on in a crowded place. Don't be that guy. I'd rather you just not watch me, because that is a sin against humanity. But anyways, I had my Vacation Impossible business card. I actually created this before I had 100 subscribers. Well, it was a gift. And so it doesn't actually have my channel link on it. It has my email, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. But with VistaPrint, through their promo box, they designed this for me, which is kind of awesome. And so this is just like a square business card. So it's got my logo here and on the back, my slogan. And then it just says like YouTube and then Vacation Impossible. So they've done some pretty cool stuff, VistaPrint. And so you can order that kind of a thing yourself, even though Promo Box doesn't exist anymore. Tier. I miss Promo Box. That was so much fun every month, just getting a bunch of cool stuff that was like for my channel. One of the things I want to show you that I got during that time frame is I got this notepad here. And so it's got my logo, No Vacation is Impossible. But look at what they did at the bottom. This might be a little blurry, but it's got the YouTube logo and then just the name of my channel. So it's almost like the URL without actually having to have a .com in there. Give a little wave. There you go. So, yeah, we've got this tote bag, and this looks freaking amazing. Because the quality of the image that came out of that... Oh, look at the bottom! That's what I was just talking about! Look at that. That's sharp. And so you can do this kind of thing with VistaPrint. Like, I didn't do this myself originally, partly because I was worried that that might have, like, some copyright issue, that they might not fulfill the order. But when they were making things for me themselves with their own design team, I never gave them the YouTube logo. They did that themselves, and it was genius on their part. And so now, you know, if I take this to the beach, you know, when we're allowed to go to beaches again... This is pretty good. I wish that the text here was a little bit more horizontally aligned. Vertically aligned, I should say. It is horizontal. I want it vertically aligned so that it would be a bit more in the middle of YouTube, but that was the thing that I did. I designed this. So that's something I'm going to watch out for if I order more. But like, I like this is so crisp. This came looking so fantastic. So I got a couple of these. Don't tell anyone. I'm going to give a couple to people as Christmas presents this year, so they're probably not watching. Family and friends, that sort of thing. So I ordered 3 of those in the mug, and there we have it. Oh, that's getting warm. So that's the unboxing. We've got that out of the way. What did you guys think about that? Do you think, like... Because I think it was about $10 for the mug, which is, I think, pretty good. And I think these were about 13 each, something like that. A little pricey, but, I mean, if it's durable, and again, that could be some great sort of advertising you can have going around. So let me know in the comments or in the chat, like, what do you think of the merch? Do you think I got ripped off? Do you think I got a good deal? Do you think these are things that I should offer as merch? I have a version of this available on Teespring for Vacation Impossible, but nothing in the bag area. So, the lights have dimmed. I presume you're talking about where you are there, but I can, of course, make myself brighter, just in case not. But Finrear Music says it looks great. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, we did the unboxing, the TubeBuddy and the VistaPrint, and so just another reminder about our contest announcement. You can win 6 free months of legend level TubeBuddy, which is amazing. This includes things like the A/B testing, where you can have 2 different thumbnails, and it will basically alternate them, you know, without... It won't do anything to hurt your channel or your video or the algorithmic anything. It's totally fine, but it'll alternate them, and then it'll collect data around which thumbnail has the higher CTR, and then you can go ahead and oh, that thumbnail works better. So I recently tested that out, and I have some information about that in our Facebook group in the units. You can kind of see how that works. And another great legend level thing is Click Magnet. I just had a tutorial video come out on this channel about only a quarter of what it can do, but it's amazing. It analyzes like your last, I think, 50, 100, 150, something like that. Like your last 50 at least videos, and sees what different elements are in your thumbnails. And so does your face appear or no face? What emotion are you displaying in your thumbnail that, you know, what gets a higher CTR, basically, and what engages people? Do you have text? Do you have no text? What words appear? It does this really cool analysis and gives you this sort of 5-part report under the element inspector, so you can see, does your audience in your niche want to see your face? Because when you go into our Facebook group, or you go anywhere and you ask, like, what kind of thumbnail should I make? You know, you're going to hear a lot of people say, well, make better thumbnails. Well, yeah, like, I was out to make bad thumbnails. Nobody goes out to do that for the most part. Like, come on. Oh, I'm glad I ran into you. Make better, not worse. Okay, well, you've explained it well, right? Like, that doesn't have any value. When I see that, it just drives me crazy. So, this tool will tell you exactly what you need to do, but also some of the advice people give is so generic. I can't tell you how much advice I've gotten about my channel, and people didn't even know, they didn't look at my channel. They just started telling me stuff before even looking, which is generally not something I do here, for example. If you got questions or requests or stuff, we can get into that. That's sort of the next phase of things for this live stream. But it's actually your channel. And it's testing what people have responded to. And so that can make a huge impact. And because every niche is different, every channel is different, and every audience is different. So generic advice can be good. Like, for example, in my Get 1,000 Subscribers videos, one of the 7 or 9 tips I give you, one of them is make sure you have branding enabled so you can have that little logo that would appear right about here. And I recently redid ours, and I am in love with it. It is great. I got this red arrow going outside of this white circle. I love it. It says subscribe. So if you don't have your branding set up where you've got a subscribe button right here, I think generically, I don't care what kind of channel you have, go and do that. So there's generic advice that's good that applies to everyone. But I think when it gets into certain really specific stuff like thumbnails, you got to try and make your advice specific. Because what some people love, other people will hate. I hate those thumbnails where people's eyes are artificially made to look large. They did a mesh warp on them and they made the eyes pop. And I see that, and I see some big channels that do that, and that just looks stupid to me. That's just my personal taste, though. Some people might love that stuff. And so get the advice tailored to your channel and get it based on data, not just Joe Blow's opinion, who's sitting in a basement somewhere, like this guy. Get it from your audience and get data and get a sample size of 50 thumbnails looked at that have been clicked on by how many people, who knows, depends on how much traffic your channel's getting. But that you can have a lot more confidence in because it can identify major trends, and it'll show you, might be a subtle difference. So maybe it's not worth worrying about. Sometimes it can be huge. Like for me, my Vacation Impossible audience does not want to see my face. I learned that recently. Click Magnet's a pretty new tool, and I learned, okay, so when travel starts up again and I'm doing my cruise ship, videos and stuff, I will probably not in the thumbnail include my face. And also it says that when I do include my face, apparently people like it when I seem calm, which is interesting. That surprised me. But calm was one of the higher scores, I think happy and calm. And so that's good to know, because I've got some rant videos on that channel, and I've got some other things where, those aren't always the emotions, but that's what people identify with. Another thing they talk about is what's your shot? Is it like the eye to mouth shot, the close shot, where you can really see every part of the emotion that they're going through? Or do you kind of have a medium shot where it's just sort of the person, the full head, maybe the shoulders and a little bit of the background so you can get some context? Or is it like the wide shot where you've got several people, right? And on my Vacation Impossible channel, overwhelmingly the wide shot, huge margin. And that makes sense to me because we're about travel. It's not about my sparkling personality. It's about showing you cool places to go, adventures to have, how to save money while you're doing it, that kind of stuff. They don't want to see me. They want to see the cruise ship. They want to see the island that we're going to. They want to see the canyon or whatever it is. That makes perfect sense. And so now I know that, and I've got data to back it up. It's not just an instinct, I think I know. I know. And that's because of Legend Level TubeBuddy. So that's kind of awesome. So very excited for that. So to enter that contest, shortly after this live stream ends, I'm going to go over there and launch the contest. There'll be a pinned announcement, and so to enter, you don't have to make a video. What you're going to do is explain how TubeBuddy has already helped you if you've got the free version, and you can get the free version using the affiliate link in the description if you don't already have it. Even the free version is super helpful in growing your channel. It will save you time, and it will grow your channel faster. So talk about how the free version's already helped you, and or how you would use the legend level to boost your channel. Because, we just did a contest where we gave away a DSLR and a couple of portable hard drives and some free Epidemic sound stuff. And again, thanks to Epidemic for that. Their link's in the description as well. I can't wait. I can't tell you how excited I am to hear those 3 channels come back. I hope they come back in, 3, 6, 9 months. I hope they stay in the group, but I want to hear from them in 3, 6, 9, 12 months. And I want to hear what it's done for their channel, because the channels that won had as few as 30 subscribers up to, I think, about 2,400. the three winners. And so there was like two channels with less than 100 subscribers and one with just over 2,000. And so if that jump starts their channels, I would love to hear amazing success stories, because that's fantastic. Like one of the people I was fortunate enough to help, I did a channel review here 2 years ago now, probably, Ace of Vegas. He's got like three times my subscriber count now. But the advice that I gave and the conversation around that channel review really helped him focus what he wanted to work on and gave him a lot of ideas and some technical knowledge about the platform. And he's just been killing it ever since. I think he's creeping up on like 7,000 subscribers now. I watch his live streams. He's getting super chats. He's got this huge community that supports him. He's doing all these collabs. He's traveling all the time. And I love hearing those sorts of stories. And if I can be some small part, contribute to that, that's a great feeling. So, yeah. And so I'm kind of curious, like, what did people envision they would use the TubeBuddy Legend for? And then again, I'd love to hear 6 months later, hey, did it, what was the impact, right? Because most of the stuff's pretty awesome. I've helped some, not every channel I help takes off right away. Like Amanda's Right Life, she came to a lot of the things. I've reviewed her channel a couple of times. And, it was slow growth. It got a little better. She learned a bit more about the platform, but was still struggling. And recently, I think she started to take off. So she's been getting like a lot of subscribers and stuff lately. And so she finally just found that turnkey. And you never know what that little thing is that might be holding you back from giant success. But let's go turn all the keys we can here. So let's see here. Finner Music. I don't think thumbnails are very important for a music channel. I wonder about that, though. I would love to see what kind of click magnet results you get for a music channel. Because, honestly, like, if you get a really attractive person in your thumbnail for your music channel, I like some EDM stuff. Like, I like that kind of music. And I noticed that their album covers are oftentimes kind of like Daft Punk is like a couple guys who look like they're ready for space, like they're SpaceX astronauts or something. But a lot of the other stuff, it's like, a woman in a bikini on a beach or something, or a bunch of women at a party or something, or in the club or what have you. I imagine there's a reason for that. There's a financial reason. There's market research that probably goes behind that, and it probably has an impact. Now, how large an impact, I don't know, and that might not be the only thing that matters. So I'm not sure. One thing that, speaking of music channels, I'm a big fan of Max Hickson, and I actually have a video up on this channel where I talked about some of the things he's doing right on his channel, and having a consistent look through his thumbnails. He uses a consistent font, consistent color, similar border framing, and style, that when I see one of his thumbnails, I know instantly that's a Max Hickson video. And so I'll go and watch it because I know his music's kind of fun. It's rockabilly, which rockabilly isn't really my thing, but he makes it good. It's like, and those are the kind of musicians that I respect so much. I see them on cruise ships all the time, actually, in piano bars. They take songs that I hate, but their version I love. And so, and I don't hate rockabilly, but I was like, that's old 50s stuff. I don't care. But then the way that Max Hickson does it, I'm like, yeah, I'm really feeling it. I feel the emotion. I feel the vibe. It's great. It's fantastic. But one of the things he does is he has consistent look to his banner, his profile picture, and his thumbnails. And I think that probably helps. To what degree? I don't know. You'd have to get TubeBuddy Legend to find out, I think, to get the data on that. Let's see here. No, I'm grabbing the wrong mug now. This one doesn't have my water. Too many mugs. Should I do something with this old one? I don't know, give it away or something. Break it in fantastic fashion. Drop it off of a tall building. I don't know. Let's see here. Thumbnails are very tricky to get right. It so is. And the thing is and I want to say this to anyone who's heard this, where they just say your thumbnails suck or make better thumbnails or, whatever. I hate that because it doesn't help you. I have this theory about constructive criticism. It needs 3 components. It needs to be specific. You suck, not good enough. Your thumbnails suck, a little better. The color of your thumbnails suck. Okay, now we're getting specific. It needs to be prescriptive. It needs to have advice. So just telling you suck or get good, bro, doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't tell you the way forward. But if it says something like, hey, you know what, your thumbnails would be great if it had a blue border, let's say. All right, now it's prescriptive. And then the third piece is you can't expect that they're going to do it just because you said it. Some people, when they go around, they seem like they're just condescending as hell. It's like they're looking down their nose like, well, peasant, just make a better thumbnail. And then they're like, well, it's been 12 minutes. Why haven't you made better thumbnails? So there can't be an expectation that just because you give advice that it'll be followed. So I want to say it now. any advice I'm going to give you during the rest of this live stream. And, we've got a little less than an hour left, so feel free to start hitting me up with some questions and requests. Any advice I give you, I don't expect you have to follow, and I'm not going to get mad if you don't follow it. Take it with a grain of salt. I never say I'm an expert. I'll talk about my background. This channel has 1,000 subscribers. My other one is 2,000. Been on the platform since 2006. Got this 309,000 member Facebook group. I'll tell you those facts, but I don't know what makes an expert necessarily. And so I don't make any claim to that. But some people ask me for advice, and I'm happy to provide it, and a lot of the times it works. And so that's my value proposition, if you will. But yeah, thumbnails are very tricky to get right because it's a taste thing, and it can be so specific to an audience or a feel or a brand. Like if you had a makeup channel or something, and you're thinking about thumbnails, and you happen to be aware of, and I'm only aware of this because of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, but that Miranda Sings person who intentionally puts makeup on incorrectly, like way too much and like on top of the lips, basically. Like if you saw that and you're looking for a makeup guru, you would think that that's ridiculous. But if you're looking for comedy and you find that funny, not really my cup of tea, but a lot of people do, then it might work for you. And that's why I worry about this thumbnail advice. It's not objective. Like, resolution is objective. You're filming in, 480p, 720p, 1080p, or 4K. Like, that's objective. 4K is better than 1080p. You get more pixels and higher image quality. Better is clearly defined, and it's a singular path forward. With thumbnails, it's not like that. It's art. And it's marketing, and it's commerce, but it's art and marketing, and that is so taste specific. Something that plays incredibly well in Canada could be offensive in Saudi Arabia, for example. So that I sympathize and I struggle, and I do offer advice, but again, take it or leave it. And I'm happy to equip you with the technical things you might want to know. Like, for example, for your thumbnail, I highly recommend that your thumbnail be 1080p, basically. It should be 1080 pixels tall, 1920 across. You don't need to go 4K with your thumbnails yet. That might need to be a thing in the future, but right now the file size would be too big. So you want to go 1080 on your thumbnails. That's a technical thing. I think everyone should do that. What color should you use? What face should you show or not? That is very specific. I've got a live tutorial on this channel where I actually made a thumbnail in real time using Photoshop, and I talk through what I'm doing. So I'm happy to equip you with the skills so that I don't want you to be held back in your thumbnails by saying, I don't know how to do that. Whether I should do that or not that's a question for, I think, TubeBuddy Legend level. But in terms of, like, I don't know how to do it, we can help you with that. I tried text on my latest music video. So I assume you mean wonder what that will do. And that's the thing. So, I mean, I really think the click magnet tool could be a huge help there. And I worry about music channels, comedy channels, poetry channels. Like, what SEO search terms are people using that brings them to that? Do people ever sit down at their computer or grab their phone and say, I want to discover new music right now? And I want to discover music that's, I don't know, bluegrass, but it's made in Europe or something. Search term. I don't think a lot of people operate that way. And so how do you get your music in front of people? That's a tricky question. And I think back to Moby when his Play album was out. And what he did is he licensed his song to his music to Bloody Everybody off that album. And even if he disagreed with the product. So he's a strong environmentalist, and a lot of car companies wanted to use his music, partly because he very effectively had a great music video that had a car in it off that album. And so he said yes to everything because he wanted his music out there. And so if he took money from a company he didn't agree with, he took that money and immediately donated it to someone that opposed them. So a Greenpeace or something. If it was from a car company, that's how he offset that. Maybe he bought carbon offsets. I'm not sure exactly how he did it, but I saw an interview where he talked about that. And he goes, it wasn't about getting the money. It was about getting my music and my art out in the world and getting that exposure. And so for music channels, I think collaborations could be really key. If you can get your music heard by more people by collaborating with someone else, maybe offering, like, say, hey, I'll let you use this song for free, just please mention us at the end of the video, description in the link in the description, something like that. That might be an effective option, at least until we can have live music again. just thinking about the challenge of music channels. And so that's music, comedy. Who sits at their computer and thinks to themselves, okay, I want to watch a comedy video about voter registration, you know, or something like whatever. I'm trying to think of like the last College Humor video that I really enjoyed. I want to watch, you know, they had a series called Jake and Amir, which took me a long time to get into because it was initially off-putting for me, but I kind of became a fan. It's like, who sits down and says, I want to watch a video of two guys in an office arguing for 2.5 minutes about nonsense? Who's going to Google that? Nobody. Crazy people, maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. But it doesn't make any sense to me. And so how can you use SEO for that? You can't. I just don't know. You could search, maybe, like some people might say, oh, stand-up comedy. But if you're searching for stand-up comedy, you probably want to see Chris Rock or some, you know, somebody specific that you want to see, Eddie Griffin, whoever. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to watch some Gallagher, you know, who just goes looking for random stand-up comedians. Maybe talent scouts. I don't know. And so that I really sympathize. In poetry, I don't even know where to begin. Just try to get yourself published somewhere. Would be my advice, because those channels can't capitalize on SEO the way a travel channel can, the way a creator support channel can, the way like it's easier to use SEO to teach someone to play the guitar, because a lot of people are searching about that. How do I play a Hoodie and the Blowfish song or whatever, versus somebody who's just like, oh, I want to hear a great rock song that I've never heard before by an indie artist. That's hard. That is hard. And so you have that disadvantage, and I'm thinking all the time, because I love College Humor and I want them to survive. I'm thinking all the time about how to help. I have a friend of mine, Warren Dean Flandes, writes amazing music. You got to check out his Christmas album, by the way. It's on Spotify. It's just awesome. I listen to it every Christmas a lot. It's not just because I'm a fan. It's not just because I know the guy and we're friends. It's because I enjoy it. But I think about people like him and how can he grow his YouTube channel, because he's amazing. And the traditional YouTube strategies are a little hard, because you can't SEO as easily for those niches. But I'm thinking all the time about it. If I crack that nut, I will scream it from the rooftops. Believe me. I sympathize, and I hope there's an answer. I'm still working on that one. Holy God. Isotope, look at this. You reviewed my channel earlier this year when I had about 200 subs. Today I hit 1,800. That's amazing. And yeah, Isotope, I do recognize you. You've been in a lot of the chats for these live streams. Is that no? Wait, that's what they do now, right? The heart. Get it against a dark background. There we go. I love hearing that. That's an amazing story. In fact, if I've helped you in any way, I'm actually thinking about collecting a series of short testimonials. That's the word. I'm thinking about collecting some testimonials. So I talked to Ace of Vegas. He might be filming something. But if you'd be willing to record maybe just a short little testimonial to explain, that it helped and how it helped, I think that might help grow this channel and sort of the community, because so many people, they need to see the value proposition and the authority and the success before they'll listen to you. And that kind of sucks, because I believe good ideas can come from anywhere. And I don't want to come off as the guy that says, get 1,000 subscribers easy, and I barely have 2,000 myself, and you're like, who are you to tell me? But the same thing is, I've learned a lot along the way, and I think that I've got some advice, and I've helped people achieve much higher success than I've achieved on YouTube. Part of it is I only have so much time to commit to this kind of stuff. You know, if I didn't have a day job, if I didn't have a family, if I didn't have, the Facebook group that was eating up a lot of my time, if I didn't have those things, and I focused solely on YouTube, it'd be a whole different story. So anyways, if you'd like to record a testimonial, I'll be happy to put it on this channel. Maybe that'll drive a little traffic to you. Kind of a synergistic thing. Contact me, Facebook Messenger, or like DM me on Twitter, whatever, through the Small YouTubers Boost account. That would be kind of cool if you could, because I think that would be that's something that some business coaches have told me I should do. So figuring out the right way to ask for that. Because I think that if this message reaches more people, like one of my goals in this channel is to make YouTube just a more fair place. I think that I would love it if success or failure on YouTube depended on the quality of your ideas, the amount of hustle you put into it, your talent, your comedy, your presence, like those sorts of things. I don't like the fact that there are channels that might be like a little lazy. Don't want to throw shade, but they know a trick. They know a little technological trick that the competition doesn't know about. They know TubeBuddy and the competition doesn't. And because they've got that advantage, they're winning. Not because they work harder or have better ideas or whatever. They're like another example. On my channel, my travel channel, I have instructional videos about how to like book your cruise and check in online and stuff like that. And the systems change over time. So I've done new versions of that. It's like, oh, they changed the website. Here's your new tutorial. But my old tutorial still gets more views than the new one. That kind of thing annoys me a little bit. But that's because it's got the anticipated watch time. And I understand technologically, and I haven't put a lot of time into it. But it's like my inferior video, the outdated one, is getting more traffic than the better, newer, more accurate, more helpful one. And so I want to try and like eliminate that. And so if we all know about TubeBuddy, if we all know how to upload a custom thumbnail, if we all know, you know, how to write tags and titles for SEO and stuff like that, then it stops being about those technical things. If the little guys have a fair chance against these other legacy performers, or which I may or may not have anything against, depending on who we're talking about, then we got a marketplace of ideas, and then the whole platform's better. And then when I go to YouTube and I see my recommendations, I'm not scrolling through tons of screens of crap I don't want to see, you know? And so that's my goal. It's my dream. It's my value. We're never going to completely achieve it, but if I can get us closer to that by helping some folks and just tearing the curtain away so you can see what's happening. And so, like, with TubeBuddy, I'm going to go and try and learn the tool and then make a tutorial about it, share it with you guys, so that we all got that fair shot. Let's see here. Fenrir Music says, I tried the woman in the bikini and it didn't help. Well, it also depends on the kind of music and the kind of audience. And again, that's why Click Magnet is so useful, because it's customized. I'm making an assumption. You know, I'm a heterosexual male, and so that was something I thought of. Full disclosure. And it stuck with me for whatever reason. I might not be the audience. And so sometimes it's about an aesthetic you're trying to achieve, or more, I think, often it's about a mood that you're trying to achieve. Like, I'm trying to think of like a song that's sort of like EDM type, like Martin Solveig, "A Night Out." I love that song. It used to come on Jelly in Vegas when I would travel to Vegas all the time, so I like have positive associations. But it's a song about like, hey, like going out and having fun and having energy and this excitement and stuff, and kind of getting off your butt, and you know, and also taking a chance and maybe meeting somebody and stuff like that. And like a proposition you might make to them about, you know, hey, would it be all right if we spent the night together, you know, having fun? And so it's kind of the mood. So if the picture evokes the mood and the mood matches what you're trying to evoke with the music, then you have some alignment there that people get what they expect when they click on it, so that they don't click and be like, why is this picture that has green lasers and people dancing in a club a country song? And singing about a Camaro. There's no Camaro in the picture. There's no truck. There's no mud flaps. There's no, like, you know, I'm stereotyping here and having a little fun. But that can sometimes be it as well. And so it could just be trying to find images that so clearly evoke the feeling, you know. Is it heartbreak? Is it new love? Is it what is it? And can you tell a story? And I have a short tip video about it here on this channel. Try to tell a story with your thumbnail, if you can, because on certain platforms, like if you go to Social Blade where they have the video embedded, they don't have the title, they only have the video. All you have is that thumbnail. It's got to tell enough of a story to make it clear what it's about and then make people click on it. And so that might be it. It might not just be sex appeal. It might be emotional attachment, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. How do you guys feel about shorts on YouTube in terms of growth? Thank you, Dr. Beats Plays. I was kind of hoping someone would ask that, because I did experiment. 3 days ago, I made a short on this channel talking about possibly redesigning your logo for 2021. And so I tried to give like 2 main tips in a short video where I was using my little changing light to hopefully keep it visually interesting and not totally make you sick. And I posted it, and for 2 days, nothing. I got like 150 views, which not great. It was within the mean for the channel, but that's fine. But then today, on the 3rd day, it got picked up on the shorts shelf and the views doubled. It went from 150 to 300. Now, depending on where you're at, that could be a huge number, or that could be totally negligible and unimportant for you. And we're still learning about shorts, and frankly, YouTube is still in the process of explaining it properly. I don't think they've done a great job. And so it's, you know, like creators like us are trying to translate, like they say it and it makes sense to them because they developed it. But as like a creator, I'm like, what? And it's weird because also you got to consider like the audience. Like apparently in India there was an update to the app, the mobile app, so you can record shorts and it says it's a short and you know it's a short, you're confident I've uploaded a short. But if you're outside of India, you have to hit 3 criteria for it to be triggered as a short. It has to be shot vertically, it has to be less than a minute, and it has to have the hashtag shorts in it. But somewhere I saw short, so I put in both. I'm pretty sure it's shorts plural though. And so that's what you have to do. And you can upload it from desktop or your mobile, apparently. As long as you hit those 3 criteria, it can get picked up as a short. But that seems to take about 3 days. And I've been seeing that consistently in the group. People are saying it took 3, 4, or 5 days for it to get put on the shorts shelf. Now what that is in the mobile app is you're scrolling through, they put stories in a row. And so now they're also putting shorts basically in there. And that's the shorts shelf. That's what they're talking about there. So that's explaining what it is and how to do it. But just like a little bit of my rant to continue, when I uploaded it from my phone, I didn't know if I had hit the criteria properly. It was less than a minute. I'm pretty sure I shot it vertically. It was vertically, but was it the exact resolution? That's kind of up to the phone. You know, did I put the hashtag right? If I put other hashtags, does it negate the one I put in? Was it short or shorts? These sorts of questions. I had to wait 3 days to find out that, it turns out I did it right. And the only way I found that out is you have to go in and you look at your traffic sources. And when you see shorts there, and I posted about that in the group, that's when you know it's actually worked. Because you're getting some traffic from the shorts. Now, you might have successfully uploaded it as a short and maybe just didn't get picked up by the short algo. So there's so much we don't know. And so what do I feel? And I'm glad that you asked feel and didn't say what do you know, because it's all so much theory right now. So what do I feel about shorts? I think they're a fad right now. I think we're oversampling the success stories. So, you know, people in the group, I've noticed, they'll come in and some will post like, I uploaded a short, I don't know if I did it right, I'm not getting any traffic, what's going on? That doesn't drive a lot of interaction, and so the Facebook algorithm moves that post down. The people who come in and say, I've had amazing success. People come, how'd you do it? People click and like, it's getting the interactions. And so that's being lifted up in the group. More people are seeing it. And so if you were just to randomly sample the group that way from the feed, it would look like shorts are amazing and everyone succeeds. But it's oversampling the success in terms of the reporting, I think. So I got 150 views out of it. That's nice. Hey, happy to get it. So I think that some people think that it's like the easiest path in the world to success. And I don't think it works that way. There's a lot of algorithmic things that feel like luck, that feel like chance. You know, I put in the right title, I put in the right SEO stuff, my thumbnail was clickable. And my CTR on my short has been like up and down, 5.9 to 3.9 and up again. So it's like all over the place. And so I think that there's that. In terms of watch time and revenue, I can clarify this because YouTube's statement, which I screenshotted their statement, posted it in the group, and a bunch of people called me a liar. And I'm like, I'm just copying what YouTube said. But I figured out what was going on because people were saying, like, YouTube said, you know, shorts don't make you money. And then people were posting screenshots where it showed the revenue they made from their shorts. And you're like, well, YouTube's lying. Not exactly. Allow me to explain. So when you watch a short on your phone and it's on the shelf, then you don't get revenue from that because it doesn't show ads on that. And the watch time you get from that does not count towards monetization. All right? However, a short is also just a video. And so if someone happens to watch it somewhere other than the shelf, you can get revenue that way because it is also a video. And that's sort of the confusion there, that I don't think the YouTube statement about it publicly has been very clear and transparent. But I eventually was able to piece it together by looking at a variety of different sources and figuring out what was going on. So I think that's what that is. And so one thing I've seen a lot of people report in the group, and I don't know personally, and it's not confirmed, but a lot of people have said that the subscribers they got from shorts are disappearing. And so it's interesting because the theory goes, and I don't know that I buy into this, but if somebody watches the short, the watch time is so short that it might not look like authentic traffic. And so it's removing the subscriber thinking that it's artificial. And so that's interesting. And I don't know if that's actually happening or not. Maybe a couple of people just had experiences and they're misidentifying the problem. I don't know. It's correlation, not causation at this point, I would say, in terms of the information. So for that, I'd say don't worry about it. Don't expect this to be the silver bullet that'll skyrocket your channel. If it does, that's great. I think that's the way we should look at all of the videos we put out. I always say that they're like little soldiers going out trying to get us viewers and ad money and subscribers and things. And so you equip your soldier and you send him out, but he fights forever. I've got this old video where I did a review of Lemonade, this orange soda from the United States. I did it in 2011 on my Vacation Impossible channel because it was during a train trip. It got 34 views in its first month, no views for 5 years, and now it's got like 5,000. So that soldier went out there. It had a slow start, but it started making some progress out on the battlefield. And so that's how I look at it. Or another metaphor I use is that it's like a lottery ticket, but your ticket's always valid, and they're constantly drawing numbers. And so if you look at it that way, if you go in and you say, well, I heard if I make a short, I get 1,000 subscribers, and that didn't happen in 5 days, so this is BS, then I think your expectations aren't reasonable. It's not the most amazing thing that way. One thing I will point out, though, is it's easier to make a short, a 1-minute video than probably a 20-minute large production thing. So if you can get some shorts out, if that can increase your frequency of upload, if that can keep you connected with your community, like one thing that drives me nuts is I'll click on a video and I'll get like 5 minutes of like them just selling to me. It'll be, oh, subscribe and click like and comment down below and turn on notifications, click that bell, smash that like button, all that stuff. And then they'll be like, and don't forget to check out these videos and, buy our t-shirt and follow us on Patreon and click our affiliate link. And all of that is at the beginning of the video. And they've got a loud, intro that just has text bouncing at you to really loud EDM music that's 3 times as loud as the rest of the video. And after 5 minutes, they finally get into their subject. Like, okay, so here's how you tie that knot that I've been talking about for 5 minutes. That kind of stuff drives me nuts. And so with a short, you don't have time for that BS. You got to get to the point right away. It's got to be a high value proposition. If it's funny, make them laugh quick. If it's educational, teach them quick. They don't have time for the sales pitch necessarily. And so what I would try to do is, I think experimenting with shorts is fine. I don't think there's a risk. I don't think shorts are costing people, like people are unsubscribing because of their shorts. If it stays within your genre, if it's on brand, I don't think it'll cost you. I think it's a relatively low risk proposition. I think all you're really risking is your time, and it's not a lot of time because it's short. And so I think that it's fine to try. And if it works for you, that's great. It could be a great medium. Since 2010, YouTube's been so focused on watch time that like the shorter videos, like the 3-minute Jake and Amir's, have fallen by the wayside because they don't get enough watch time to get picked up by the algo. And I'm actually kind of excited about the shorts thing because I like the 1-minute tip video. My toilet's plugged. I don't want to sit through 20 minutes of you talking about your kids and what you bought at Walmart to find out that I need to put a paper or a plastic bag around the plunger to make it work for this particular problem or whatever. Just tell me And so I think that YouTube is finally responding to that frustration that a lot of us viewers are feeling. Chapters is one of those ways. That's when you put in your description the time codes and, you get the chapters. And that was originally mostly just functional on desktop, but now it's actually pretty good on mobile too. You click on it, you show the chapters, you click on it, it jumps you to that part of the video. Love chapters. You should be making chapters. I think it helps you get a micro boost in the algorithm. It's not that hard. I think I might do a little tutorial video about that sometime soon. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. So the idea is, between chapters and these shorts, YouTube, I think, is realizing that maybe not over 10 minutes, because before, to have mid-roll ads, you had to have a video over 10 minutes. And in order to get a lot of traction, you need to have a lot of watch time. So that means your video's got to last, and you got to stretch it out, and you got to drag it out. And I think YouTube's catching wise to the fact that that is turning people off. And so the fact that shorts and chapters, like now getting to the point, is suddenly being a little bit more valued. I hope that it's sometime in the future, maybe the algo gets a little tweaked, because before 2010, before watch time became king metric of all, and then later anticipated watch time, which is just a derivative of that, it was about views. And it was like how many people, and interactions, how many people clicked like, stuff like that. And so I think short form content has been getting the shaft. since 2010. And I like the idea that maybe short form content might be coming back to the platform. That's probably why so many people went to TikTok. They were probably hungry for something that didn't waste their time. I respect that. And so I like the idea that maybe a 3-minute video can be successful, particularly for you animators out there. You want to talk about niches that my heart goes out to? Animators. You have to put so much time and effort into animating something that the time to watch time ratio is much higher for you. You have to invest so much time to get a short video out that you have to get so many views to get watch time that the algorithm really picks it up, that it's harder for you than me. I mean, I can just sit here and talk about cruises. And it's not going to take nearly as much work. I'm not saying it's necessarily the easiest. I'm not trashing anybody. I'm just saying it feels like the hill that the animator's got to climb up is a little steeper than maybe the one that the travel guy's got to climb up. And so I'm excited about that. But in terms of using shorts for growth, because the short shelf stuff doesn't count towards, and so many people are obsessed with monetization. I know that, and that's fine. I get it. It's a fine goal. Not crapping on anybody. But if the subscribers are disappearing because they're being detected as not legitimate, not authentic, for one thing, I think YouTube needs to make an adjustment there. Because they couldn't watch 3 minutes of a 1-minute video unless they watched it over and over again. And so that's my request to YouTube is like, if that is something that's happening on your platform, I think you need to make a slight adjustment so that, you know, maybe if it came from a short, look at that watch time is a little slightly different as it affects whether you think it's an authentic subscription or not. But the other side for us creators, the thing that we actually have some control over is maybe trying to drive them to other content. So yeah, it's a short. Maybe ask them to subscribe, but maybe don't because you might not have the time, but maybe reference another video. You know, here's my 2 most important graphic design tips. You want to see the other 7, check out my video. And so then it might drive them to interact with your channel more in a way that the algorithm won't think is fraudulent. And so watch a couple videos, get more watch time, that sort of thing. I think that's the way to go. So if you're doing a short, keep it on brand, and maybe try to refer towards the end to another video rather than asking for the subscription because time is short. Those are some of my thoughts about that. I'm actually kind of excited about it. I also just wish YouTube would have explained it better because it was such a mystery for me. I only now sort of get it. So now I'm thinking about like, am I going to want to make a whole bunch of shorts? In fact, here's a question for you too. Do you want to see a bunch of short tips on this channel? Would you like to see tips that are 60 seconds or shorter? Or would you prefer the deep dive like my SEO and motivation videos and my tutorials where it's, you know, the SEO and the motivation ones, those are like 15-minute, 20-minute videos where I just really get into it and unpack everything. Tutorial videos probably run around like, I don't know, 5 to 9 minutes on average. Or would you like to see really short ones, or do you want to see a mix? Would love to hear what you guys are looking for, how you want to, you know, get content from us. Let's see here. I just made 2 shorts just days ago, so can't tell you right now. Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like you got to give it like 3 to 5 days, and we're not used to that, partly because YouTube has trained us with the understanding that our first hour is so critical with view velocity, and that our first day is so important with notification squad, and that our first week is so important with the new tag, that we're like, if it's not happening right away, it didn't happen. You know, the first hour is the most important hour in the video's life, generally speaking. The first day is the most important day, and the first week is the most important week. And after that week, good luck. Because you need kind of like like my soda review miracle for something to come back from. You know, you never get the same level of opportunity as you do during that first hour, day, and week. And so between that and, you know, you could say, oh, shortened attention spans and millennials today and all that stuff. So we're used to, maybe it's an instant gratification thing, but having to wait 3 days to find out if a video even was formatted properly, it's kind of a raw deal. I would love it if there was like a little check mark. And someone suggested this, so I wish I remember who it was. I don't want to misattribute it, but somebody in the group suggested this. This wasn't my idea, but I love it. Is like if you were uploading the video, if there was a check mark you could make to indicate that this is intended to be a short. That would be great. And what I would love is if it basically wouldn't accept the check mark unless you had met the criteria. And then maybe if you tried to check it, you don't meet the criteria, maybe a little pop-up that says this video is too long, or was shot in the wrong format, or doesn't have the hashtag, or whatever it needs. Speaking of shorts, one of the things, apparently when you have it in the app, you can only record 15 seconds at a time. But if you do it not in the Indian version of the app, you can go up to nearly a minute. So that's inconsistent too. And so it's confusing people. And I don't blame people for being confused. That's part of why I try to be your canary in the coal mine and go test it out for you. I'll be your lab rat, your guinea pig, whatever kind of horrible animal testing metaphor you want to use. That kind of backfired on me. Sorry, vegans. What do we got here? Feel YouTube should just focus on horizontal videos. TikTok is for vertical and Instagram has reels. I really kind of agree with you, Joel Peter, on that. Like, let's have different things in their different place for their own purpose. So you know what you're getting and you're not wading through. I don't want to watch a horizontal, I want vertical, or vice versa. Or, you guess you could filter things. I don't know. YouTube is like television. The original slogan, broadcast yourself, like broadcast television. You can, there's so many players and so many stuff like to put it on the TV. When they had that score about your that kind of related to your ad value or whatever that was revealed and then promptly hidden, it was about, I guess, a year ago now. One of the things they noticed is that you could increase that score if more of your content was watched on televisions versus mobile or computer. And so, like, YouTube obviously cares and would love to be, like think about the language they use. We have channels, like television channels. So it's in the style of television, which is that sort of, now 16:9, originally 4:3. And so I would love it if they kind of stuck to that. And again, what I was saying before is I like about the idea about let's be flexible for duration, though. Not every video has to be 8 minutes to be successful. I would like it if that was more true than it is. And the most important type of video is evergreen content. Yep. You can have bursts of growth. You can have tentpole content. You can have something tied to an event. Like I tried in my Vacation Impossible videos, I tried making a how to prepare for your convention. And it was going to be a series, but of course COVID came along and canceled all the conventions. So thanks, COVID. But it was like, I was attending Gen Con in Indianapolis, which is North America's largest board game convention, which part of me wants to say it was my friend's idea. I'm not a nerd, but I had so much fun there. Screw it. I'm a nerd. I enjoyed it a lot. I want to go back. And we were there with the Mario Marathon people, and they're all lovely, and they make everything fun. But so one of the things I heard from one of the Mario Marathon people, maybe I won't mention who, but they were basically remarking on how not enough people. Jesus, was that like a fly? What the heck was that on my forehead? It's December. What are there flies in here? Sorry. She was remarking on how not enough people had showers. It's kind of like that stereotypical geek thing, where we're so focused with laser beam intensity on what we're passionate about, whether it's Star Trek or YouTube or whatever, that maybe we forget about other things. It can become a little myopic, a little obsessional sometimes, and sometimes it's kind of okay, and a lot of times it's not. And so I was like, well, I'll make a hilarious. I was shooting for hilarious. Funny. I want to make a funny video about how to prepare for your day at the convention, where I would highlight, have a shower, and so I took my GoPro and I pointed it at the hotel shower, and so I had some good B-roll when I'm talking about have a shower, and here's the shower starting. And I was like, there was a fun part that I kind of liked where I had some B-roll of my shorts on the hotel bed. And I said something like, it's good to wear shorts because it gets really warm and then you don't sweat as much. And then I was like, and you should probably wear underwear too. And then I threw my underwear into the shot. And I was like, for me, that's funny. I don't know if other people like it. And so my idea was I was going to do a version of that for a variety of conventions that we go to. I was going to make one for, Comic-Con and one for Portland Retro Gaming Expo and other things. But then COVID struck and whatever. And so you can have tentpole content, but I don't think it's as valuable as evergreen. So maybe every time Gen Con rolls around, I can maybe, because I think I got retweeted by the organizers, which was kind of cool. Gave me a couple extra views, not a lot because it was laid into the thing, because I made it during the event, kind of a rush job. But maybe next year, maybe get it to them. Maybe I can even get them to put it on their website. Might be funny, might be good, might be helpful. I don't know. It's something I'm thinking about, amongst a million other ideas I have on the go. And so that could be recurring tentpole if it's an annual event and the video is made in a somewhat evergreen way. You could have something about Christmas that maybe people will come back to and watch at Christmas time. Like I've been kind of thinking, I want to rewatch some of Cinemassacre, the Angry Video Game Nerds Christmas videos. When he got Macaulay Culkin on there was amazing. I want to rewatch that. When he did the series about box art and, and the Days of Crap mess, I say, because I don't want to get in trouble. Because I don't have 3 million subscribers. I can't swear all day long. Not that it's my style, but nevertheless. And so, like, you can have tentpole recurring as sort of a Venn diagram. You can have that kind of a thing, but certainly evergreen. And for evergreen content, if the video is always relevant and you maximize your SEO, again, trilogy of videos on this channel about how to do that, that is where you start to automate your growth. You want to talk about views while you snooze? Evergreen content with strong SEO is how you do it. And so, yeah, very important. I get the whole idea of growing your channel, but you really shouldn't put your eggs in one basket. Yeah, I like that statement. Joel Peter is asking me to read chat, which is what I'm trying to do. Sorry, my chat scrolled without my permission, and now I'm lost. Where was this evergreen comment? Why can't I find that? That was what we were just talking about. I don't know. My chat's going crazy. Let's see. Dr. Beats plays. So did I. I just got 500 views within one day. I want to test it out, but I don't want people to assume that's all my channel will be about. And so, yeah, I mean, having a variety of duration might not be a bad idea. Let's see. Fenrir music. I post epic battle music and Viking music. That's kind of cool. Game players like to listen to it. Further, I post relaxing music for meditation and sleep. So just reading that, I'm thinking about like battle music, Viking music. I think about like, there's channels out there that like create period weaponry and battles and things like that. So maybe a collab with them, possibly. Maybe if it was even possible for you to go there and like participate or like test out a Viking battle axe or something that they've made, and then they used your music. That could be a good way to do that. You also post relaxing music for meditation and sleep. That's great. And so I think that maybe like motivation channels and wellness and things like that might be a collaboration opportunity there as well. You know, if someone who is talking about self-care and meditation and wellness and mindfulness, and if they happen to take a liking to one of your songs and they're like, okay, this is a great piece of music, you can, you know, and here's the guided meditation over the music, possibly that could be great. Dr. Beats Play says, I'm thinking of making shorts that are specific to my niche. Absolutely. If you make a short, make it in your niche. Absolutely. Don't make a random short. I don't recommend that. Benchmarks and performance reviews do great for SEO. 1,126 views on my Cyberpunk benchmark video posted yesterday. Yes, for gamers, if there's a new update that you can review, if a new game comes out, doing benchmark testing on that, bug testing, or just letting people know how that stuff works, that it's not necessarily evergreen, and that came from Joel Peter as well, who was saying about evergreen being so important, but that can be an important sort of tentpole video that can drive a lot of people, especially if you're first to market with something like that. You want to do it first and best, and probably in that order as necessary. Might be more important to be first than to be greatest at it. But as quickly as you can do things. That's why you want tools like TubeBuddy that can save you time. If you are in a foot race with someone to get a video out on a particular subject, and you've got something that saves you time in that process and keeps you from forgetting an important step, huge win for you. So just something to think about. I can do a testimonial, of course, but without Facecam because I don't have one. That is totally fine, Isotope. An audio, podcast testimonial would be fantastic. Isotope, do you have a phone? Yeah, that's true. You could always, camera shy person. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't want to make you do anything you're uncomfortable with, of course. But also, I mean, if you just want to do like a short 45-second video of a testimonial, and practice it as many times as you want, maybe that might be an exercise to help you overcome your shyness, if that's something you want to overcome. Not everyone necessarily does. But I am happy to receive whatever you would like to send. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. More than happy to record something for this channel, for the Facebook group, to give something back. That is so nice. I love that. This, just paying it forward. Yeah, that's awesome. Ray, I've noticed your webcam looks blurry, and I'm not sure what you're broadcasting at, but your lighting is key to making it better. Exposure is too high and your lighting is too low. I can definitely increase my lighting. We were talking about that early in the live stream. I was trying to go for like sort of a funky Christmas lighting thing, but not if that's at the cost of quality. And so people liked it at first, but let's mix it up. Let's fire up my ring light, which I'm not a huge fan of because it flickers and gives me a headache, but I need to upgrade my lighting. I want to get like a soft box at some point. Okay, I like to get that nice and low, but not so low that it flickers. Better? My shirt rode up on me, so it made it look like I gained 20 pounds while I was doing that. That's probably why you wanted me to re-chat, because you're getting sick of looking at something that didn't look great. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I do have a lot more light that I can activate on that ring light and adjust the other lights accordingly. Now let's see here. I'd recommend looking for a C920 for cheap. That's a Logitech, right? I think that's what I used to have. That was my 720p1. Then I got a 1080p1, an 8 Oscom or whatever. And right now I'm using this generic 4K. I'm pretty happy with it. Just because 4K, it's not super mainstream for webcams. So most of the stuff that's affordable is this non-name brand. I actually have an unboxing of this camera I'm using on this channel. And so that's a thing. And also because when COVID struck webcams, I went to my local Best Buy, Staples, again, full protocol, mask and everything, hand sanitizer, kept my distance. But I went looking for 4K webcams prior to the Mario Marathon because I was going to be remotely participating. And I wanted to up my video quality for it. And they couldn't even get 1080 anywhere. It was sold out. So I think we're in an unusual place right now where 4K videos, webcams, they're all right for now, but I'm hoping post-COVID, maybe we can see another generation where maybe we get some 4K Logitechs that are maybe can focus a bit better and also have price comes down a bit. Because I think I shelled out $80 for this one, and I think it was recently on sale for $60, I think. I posted about it on the group when it went on sale. That's correct. It's about a 3-day turnaround. I guess that's still talking about the shorts. The problem with shorts for me is that the game I mostly record is a mobile game that has to be played horizontally, so a vertical view video is very hard to make. That is a good point. Yeah, that could be challenging. I feel YouTube should just focus on horizontal. Oh, hey, here we go. Yeah, evergreen content. Okay, my chat is all disjointed. I get the whole idea of growing your channel, but you really shouldn't put your eggs in one basket. Absolutely, and I mean that's generally true. In fact, for people in our Facebook group, I do strongly recommend they follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Not necessarily because we're so effing awesome on every platform, although maybe, but more so because if something were to happen to the group, sometimes violations by members can actually count against the group. And sometimes those takedowns can happen very quickly. I do have direct access to Facebook. I have a Facebook rep. And so they've indicated that our group is protected against some kinds of takedown, but not other kinds. And so particularly, I'm not sure that I want to spell out how you could cause trouble for me. So I don't know that I want to go any deeper into that. But just because that's just one of many, many examples why you don't want to put your eggs in one basket, because you don't know when a platform could get banned like TikTok nearly was. A platform could get shut down I can't even remember the name of it. The one that I was doing a couple years ago. Vid something vid. I don't know. What's a better example is wow, I'm really blanking on this. What was that one? Blip had really high CPMs. And they spent all their money paying their creators, went out of business. That's a little bit before my time in terms of being serious about creating. But that sort of thing. So, the rules could suddenly change. There have been some very successful YouTubers that their content might have been a little on the edgy side, and so they ended up losing their monetization because it was found to be against community guidelines. And that can happen overnight. And so, yeah, and you don't want all your eggs in one basket. You don't want all your revenue coming from one source. So sponsorships, affiliate links, AdSense, t-shirt sales, Patreon, when it's kind of diversified, if one of those goes away overnight suddenly and there's not much you can do about it, you have some time and some resources to redirect and maybe try to grow the other ones back to fill the gap as needed, redirect and refocus your time on other things. So that's hugely important in so many ways. That having been said, you still want to niche down. I'm saying that even though my travel channel got kicked in the teeth because of COVID this year. Revenues on that channel dropped to less than a third of what they were at pre-COVID. But I still believe the niching down is important for algorithmic advantage, as well as audiences. They, respect the audience by giving them something consistent that they can expect. So, if suddenly I was to do a try-on haul in my travel channel about socks or something, I better bloody well connect it to travel. It better be like compression socks for flights or something. Because you want to kind of niche down, and the old saying about jack of all trades, master of none, or being a servant of multiple masters. So it's hard to do any. Or what's that other saying? If you combine talking and eating, you'll do neither very well. And so yeah, I think that niche wise, one basket, or have separate channels like I do, or that sort of thing. But when it comes to platforms and methodology, shorts, long video, vertical, horizontal, try to diversify as much as you can in that respect. Sure, going on all separate platforms is exhausting. True dat. But if you pace yourself, you can do it. I just focus on YouTube as my main platform. You want to get dedicated niche, but it's nice to get exposure. Yeah, I largely agree with that. And so I think that prop. See, you see the reflection of my ring light there. I'll just angle it a little differently. So I think that there's the metaphor of the funnel. I've talked about this before. You have your multitudes of different places, but ultimately you should have a focus, an end goal of a sort. So it doesn't necessarily need to be YouTube down here. Maybe it's video. Video as a format. If video is your thing, then maybe you post it natively on YouTube and on like Facebook and maybe Twitter or something, if it's short videos, whatever. But then you might be on Twitter and Instagram and all these other things, but that you're trying to drive the traffic to your videos. So if you have a audio podcast, and I have one, the Vacation Impossible podcast, for me, my podcast is up here because I want it to feed my videos. So I mention my videos in my podcast a lot. I don't mention my podcast in my videos very often. And that might be a mistake. Maybe I should be cross-promoting more, but I know my focal point. I want to drive them to the video. And so I have the audio version, and I produce some clips that end up as videos. And so on the podcast, I try to drive them here. If you have your podcast here, then you might have your videos and your Instagram pictures and stories and everything trying to drive people towards the podcast. But trying to have some sort of a bottom of the funnel that you're focusing people towards. People talk about click funnels and stuff. If you're about entrepreneurship and making money, it might be trying to get you to a lead page or to buy a course or whatever that is, affiliate links, etc., depending on your priorities. But knowing your funnel situation, having this self-awareness, I think is really important, because then you're not trying to do everything up here with equal focus and intensity and effort. And here's a thought, a question, if you will. What matters more to you, your Twitter follower number or your subscriber number? Because if the answer is both, I think that you might not fully have sorted your funnel out, because those are very different things. And it's a very different way of interacting with your audience, I would argue. So it's just something to think about. Because then if you know what your primary and your sort of secondary things are, then if you're feeling exhausted, if you're feeling run down, if you're feeling mentally burnt out, then maybe, the secondary things you can take a step back from or automate them or something like that, where hopefully at the bottom here is fulfillment. It's not necessarily profit. It's not necessarily success. Ideally, particularly when we're small and starting out, this should be fulfillment. What makes you happy should be down here. If making videos makes you happy, then drive people to the videos. If making the podcast makes you happy, drive them there. If your Instagram pictures are what you really love doing, maybe put that there. Maybe even if the profit isn't there yet. But if that's where your passion, your fulfillment, and your joy lies, then the profits will come. Because your passion will come through the screen or the earphones, whatever it may be. And I think that's how you really grow. It's all about sort of knowing yourself. Quick plug here. There's probably an affiliate link for this. And Start With Why, Simon Sinek, that kind of thing. Highly recommend. If you're not sure what's at the top and what's at the bottom of your funnel. I agree, Joel. That's not what I was getting at. What I meant was, can it possibly hurt your channel's growth in the long run? And that's the thing. There's a small risk because your anticipated watch time on the shorts will be lower. But YouTube said that that's not an issue, but YouTube's communication on this hasn't been fantastic. So I think there's a possible risk, but I think it's low. But it's hard to say when it comes to algorithmic stuff. YouTube is understandably not very upfront. It's proprietary information. Not paid with exposure. Just that the largest reach to meet people with interest. Yeah. And so like paid exposure is a little challenge. Ray, in this case, you aren't responding to chat. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind. I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm spending all my time responding to chat, though. Since I finished my unboxing, I've just been responding to chat. I haven't done much else. I don't know if you have a second monitor, but the tangential live streams aren't helping as much. I don't have a second monitor, and so I do apologize. Well, let me ask people here. Do you want me to be in real time giving you short answers, or do you want in-depth answers that really dive in and give you action items? I thought that my audience wants to really know things in depth, but if you just want me to respond in real time, 30-second answers, 10-second answers instead of a 5-minute answer, maybe I'll put a poll in the community tab later and I'll let people kind of give me some feedback about that. Personally, I don't think that a 10-second response or a 30-second response, I mean, it's kind of like watching a presidential debate where they can't get into an issue in any real depth. And so it just kind of becomes catchphrases and slogans and platitudes and attacks and things like that. And so my intent is to go a little bit more in depth. But if that's not what people want, I can try to change the nature of my content. But it might be that maybe this just isn't what you're looking for. And if so, like I said, I apologize. I've been experimenting with chapters for a while, and I did not notice a difference in impressions. Yeah, I don't know that it really... like I said, it's a micro boost in my opinion, because generally speaking, the algorithm seems to give a slight advantage to people who use more functions, and that's one of those functions. But it could be very slight, and there's so many variables, it's really hard to isolate to determine what's causing what, because it might be at the same time that you happen to be covering a popular topic or something else. So it's hard to really have that causal relationship. But of course affected which parts of the video viewers watch. Yeah. And so it's interesting. I haven't looked at the stats for my channels, but if adding chapters gets you to a point where you have people watching more than 100% of the video, that might mean they're going back and rewatching and jumping around and using it as a reference material, like a dictionary almost. And that could be very good, but that might not work for all genres. You don't have much chat. You feel you need to fill the air. I don't feel... No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Joel. You're making assumptions about me that are not accurate. I don't feel a need to fill air. That's simply not true. And I think I know more about what I'm feeling than what other people tell me I'm feeling. So please take my word for what I'm feeling. And maybe respect that I'm feeling what I'm feeling. And I understand that you're trying to help, but this is coming across as you telling me, to really change the nature of the job that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help people. And this is making me... less keen to do that. If I have to do it in a rigid structure that meets exactly what you're looking for, then I'm not sure I can be myself. And I don't feel the need to fill the air. That bothers me. You think I'm wasting time here? I don't know why you're watching. I'm not filling time. I'm trying to help people. I'm sorry you don't get that. Yeah, 60 seconds videos can work. Yeah, and they can be horizontal. I am reading chat. Look, Joel, I'm doing what I can, man, but yeah, sorry that you're not liking this live stream. Maybe this isn't the live stream for you. I do apologize. I try to help as many people as possible, and I like to think that people get something out of this, but maybe this isn't the best investment of my time. I don't know. That Fenrir Music had to go. Agung Tenda channel said hello morning. Hello. This is, the internet's global. It's almost dinner time here. I'll be wrapping up pretty soon. Oh, okay. My chat is going crazy again. And I've tried this chat I've tried to have chat in Internet Explorer. I've tried to have it in Firefox. I tried to have it in Chrome, and it does it on all of them. It seems to do this to me. So maybe I should try Edge. I might, see about integrating it. I've tried integrating it into my actual display for the live stream, but I have to redo some of the coding every time I go live, and I don't have time to recode things when I do these lives on short notice. There's a correlation between ASD and Geeks Nerds. I don't know what ASD stands for. Special Interests Boarding on Obsession. Okay. No, that wouldn't be evergreen. Absolutely. It sounds, Joel, like you want to argue with me in real time, and I have no interest in doing that. I'm sorry. I meant zero disrespect, by the way, with my comments. So maybe I'm not understanding what you're trying to communicate exactly, but it seems like you have some very fundamental problems with the nature of my live stream. And so I appreciate that you want things to be better, and that maybe you think that live streams have to conform to a very specific way of operating. And maybe it's true. Maybe there isn't room for variation, but I would like to think with my live stream, I get to make some choices about what it needs to be. And maybe the choices I make are holding me back. Maybe the choices I'm making are mistakes or they're bad. But I honestly believe that what I try to present is deep dives, generally speaking. And again, I want to stress that I'm not presenting myself as an expert. I'm not telling you that you have to do things my way. People in our Facebook group are constantly asking for my opinion and my assistance. And that is why I started this channel, was because people asked. I don't think that I'm king of the world, I've got it all figured out, or that I'm smarter than anybody. But there are some things that I have some opinions on, and I've made some decisions about, and that I know about myself, and that I'm happy to share if that's something that an audience is looking for. But I'm not on this channel to become famous. I want to help people, and I need eyeballs to be able to do that, I think. You can be super helpful, but if you're sitting alone in a dark room, you're not probably actually helping anybody. But I'm not here to, make cash, become famous, get an audience. And so I'm not following the formula that people expect. I would like to think that makes me unique, but maybe it just makes me inferior. I don't know. Just doing the best I can. So I'm happy to I'm happy to listen to feedback, but maybe don't tell me what I'm feeling. I think that's really where it stops being helpful, when you're telling me what I'm doing and what I'm feeling, and frankly, you're getting it wrong. I'm sorry, but that's kind of one of my buttons. It's kind of like, let me decide my feelings. Let me decide what I'm doing, and certainly give me advice. That's fine, but there's a line between advice and instructions, I think. For webcams, 1080p is fine. If you really want to invest, just get a Sony off of Marketplace and grab an Elgato. Again, you're really making declarative statements here. Elgato, assuming that's for capturing video game footage, right? I am not a gamer. So, and I know I mentioned the Mario Marathon, but I don't actually, I wasn't playing remotely, so I don't think an Elgato would be relevant for me necessarily. But for gamers, yeah, that is the #1 name in video capture, as I understand it. They've gone down in price, which is cool. Moore's Law is doing its thing, which is good. Are you zoomed all the way? I don't believe this webcam has a zoom, so it is just placed upon my monitor, pointed at me. You're now on my phone, okay? I'm just saying that they asked a question and you had given an answer that wasn't what they meant. So whose question did I not answer correctly? I'll be happy to take another stab at it. No, it's just a capture card marketed at gamers. Okay, but if I'm just broadcasting like my desktop, like I spend most of my time in this layout. Today was a little different. And so I don't know that I need a capture card necessarily, because I think this is capturing my desktop pretty crisply. But I suppose maybe if you're saying that I need to... okay, so you're saying that I did not answer Dr. Beat's question. All right, well, let's go take a look at what Dr. Beat's question was. I agree, Joel. That's not what I was getting at. It looks like Dr. Beats was disagreeing with you, Joel, not me. Well, I can't possibly... can it possibly hurt your channel growth in the long run? I talked about that a bit. I took it to a broader place. I did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. He was asking about shorts and growth, and so I talked about shorts and growth. I didn't narrowly focus on specifically what he meant, and I did talk more broadly because I'm trying to put things in a broader context, and that was a choice I made. So I'm sorry if that doesn't work for you. But really, I'm volunteering my time here trying to help people. So I'm just doing the best I can. I'm caught up on chat now, it looks like. Well, I was hoping to end this on a more positive note. And I'm surprised that nobody asked for a channel review. That kind of caught me off guard. But we're kind of out of time now. I don't know. Might be a while before I do this again. Because, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth it. Yes, if you plug a DSLR mirrorless camera into your capture card. Joel, it sounds like you want to come here and completely restructure my setup, get me to buy some equipment, and completely restructure how I run this show. Maybe you need to run your own show, man. I don't know. I don't think I'm helping anybody here. I wanted to. That's what I came here to do, but I guess it's not working. I don't know. Joel, let me ask you this. Do you want me to stop live streaming? Because that is a thing I can absolutely do. Because, I mean, is there anything in this live stream that you see has value? Because right now, all I'm hearing is that everything is bad. So it's sounding like I should just stop. No. Is there anything of value in my live streams? Is there a reason for me to continue doing them? Or, because, I don't know. It just seems like you're saying that, like, every technical thing I'm doing here is wrong. And again, I don't put myself out as an expert. I'm here because people asked. 100%. I don't... I think we have a different definition of 100%. It doesn't feel like 100%. It feels like a mix of some kind. At best. All right. Well, since there are no other requests in chat, other than me to change my equipment and my format, I guess we'll see about wrapping things up. And, yeah, all right. Trying to remember, I like to end these with an action item, and I'm trying to remember what the one I had in mind was. Oh, right. All right. So, kind of took the wind out of my sails there, Joel. Very, very effective, that. You give great advice. I just felt the advice given today wasn't what they were looking for. Keep these up. I like them, and I think people get value out of it. Ace definitely did. That's true. Ace and Isotope and some other people. So, well, I don't know, Joel. It sounds like maybe you want to tell people the advice that they're looking for. And so maybe that's the thing you should do. I don't know. You could have offered helpful suggestions to answer the questions as well in chat, and to some degree, I suppose you did. But, yeah, I don't know. I'll see about maybe putting up a poll in my community tab to see if it's worth doing these things anymore. But, yeah, I mean, it feels like destructive feedback. It really does. It didn't feel constructive in any way. And, yeah, telling other people what they're feeling and what they're doing. I don't recommend that strategy in any venue. So, Anyways, on that note, because I am the creator of Vacation Impossible, I try to end these live streams with a mission if you choose to accept it. And so in this case, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to go watch your most recent video from the very beginning. And I mean fully watch it. Don't have your phone out. Don't also, you know, be having lunch or whatever. I want you to sit and do nothing but look at your last video from the very beginning with like a stopwatch, with a clock on your phone, whatever. And I want you to notice, when do you get to the subject that is in your title? How long does it take you to get to the meat and potatoes of your video? And depending on what the answer is, what I would suggest you do is take a look whether or not you have chapters. If it's a minute or more and you don't have chapters, I would strongly encourage you to add chapters. And maybe just keep that feedback in mind as you do future videos, because people want to get to that meat and potatoes right away. I strongly suggest as a format, give value, then ask for things, then go and then continue. That, I think, is a good spot to put it in. So anyways, that is your mission if you choose to accept it. And I wish React channels did that. I don't really watch React, but I wish all channels had chapters. I mean, not all channels, because like you can't add chapters to a music video, really. Unless there was like a scene that set it up and credits at the end, maybe. So like some things don't lend themselves to chapters. I think music videos is definitely one of them. But I think that a lot of things, yeah, like time is so precious. Somebody in the group was asking me earlier today about like, oh, their view count was fluctuating over a period of 3 days, depending on where they were looking. I was trying to explain that the view count can vary depending on mobile, desktop, real time versus other things, and that they don't always sync up, and that, you know, within the first 48 hours, views kind of go through an automated audit process, and sometimes they're removed. And so those numbers can go up and down because of that. And they were like, yeah, but, you know, how do I contact YouTube and how do I get it fixed because I lost these views or whatever? And it's like, you can't. So you can't check YouTube's math. And so they kept wanting, at a point I just kind of had to end the back and forth because I was trying to give them advice and they just kept spending all this time on it. I'm like, if you're spending your time checking YouTube's math, that's time you're not spending creating or promoting your content or learning a new skill or researching something. And so time is so precious to people. We only get one life. And so chapters, I think, I'm a big fan of, because it's a way of respecting your audience's time. If they can jump exactly to the stuff that they came there for, that they want, that they need, I think that's huge. And I think your audience, I hope, it's just a theory, but I hope your audience will reward you for it. So anyways, with that in mind, I think we'll call things to a close. If we do decide to continue with live streams, subscribe with notifications on. I will be putting a poll in the community area where people can provide some feedback about that, and we can kind of make a choice going forward. Maybe edited videos is the way forward instead of live streams. Not sure. We'll see. And don't forget to check out the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group, where we will be launching the contest later tonight, where you could potentially win 6 months of legend level TubeBuddy for free. Doesn't cost you anything to enter. Just try out the free version of TubeBuddy. Got the link down below. Tell us how it helped, how legend would help you. Channel link in the Facebook group. So look for that announcement. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll potentially see you next time. Have a good one, everybody. This live stream will self-destruct in 5 seconds.